My name's Mark Lairds. We run a business called Lairds of Troon, and we are audiovisual and cybersecurity networking experts. We're in the Ayrshire Hospice. This was the capital build project in Ayr. So in the room we have Christie, big TVs. We have professional Yamaha. We have Teams computer for the conferencing. We have Wyrestorm Network HD. We have Vadio high definition cameras. We've also got Extron in the middle to switch USB devices, and we have RTI tying it all together for simple control from the ball plate over your shoulder. Christie's probably one of the most reliable companies that we're going to find for that kind of video in the space we need it in. It's designed to be on 24/7, it's reliable and it does what it says in the tin, plus it's compatible with RTI. Well, the line array speakers from Yamaha's professional range are the ones that were going to give us the reliable level of audio all the way through the room. However, we did decide to reinforce the sound with the ceiling speakers over there. It really boils back down to the ability to control the system. We have to ensure a level of quality in audio, but we can't expect the client to know how to use all of these individual bits of equipment. So we knew that we could tie it all back to RTI and control it using a single button without losing any quality. There's a number of different automation systems on the market. Some are premium, some are what we would call entry level, but we think that RTI and the offering that they've got kind of hovers around about the middle, but it's in our opinion a premium solution. It does everything that we need it to do at a very fine level, so we can tune it, we can brand it, we can put our own buttons on it, we can put our own graphics in, and we've branded it to Ayrshire Hospice. Each and every button does exactly what we need it to do without any extra complexity. I remember in a previous project we used Vadio, and it was a kind of side effect that we had RTI in that project. We wanted to take it to another level where RTI would control Vadio. We made a phone call and RTI stepped up to the mark and actually made us a driver for that particular project, and we've had a really good relationship ever since. The video distribution that we're using in here is called Network HD. Should they decide in the future to add video screens within the network in the hospice, Network HD is going to let them do that without any kind of reconfiguration or having to put more cables in, for example. The infrastructure in this room is effectively standalone, so everything comes back to the credenza to my left, and then it's basically a single connection from that back to the server room. Should they desire, they can unplug that and they've got that self-contained unit. Rather than having the video matrix, where you've got a specific in and a specific out, Network HD gives them so many opportunities in the future, and the flexibility speaks for itself. So the things that Habitek helped us with within this environment was the RTI infrastructure. They put us in touch with Extron. We didn't know that that was the right bit of kit to use for that particular component. So that created the dialogue with Extron. So we've learned a hell of a lot about their range. Habitek have been there for the beginning. The level of customization that we can achieve with RTI is all the way down to individual button presses. So we can press a button and make a big sequence of events happen. We can timestamp, we can schedule, we can make digital signage. RTI knows, and it will send a signal to the lights, and the lights will change on, off, dim, that kind of thing. So extremely versatile, and I think it's only limited by your imagination.
My name is David Wilson. I am the Digital Improvement Facilitator for the Ayrshire Hospice. So the brief was we wanted a place where everyone could come together, where the kit in the rooms was simple enough that anyone could use it. And then once we had that simple kit, the idea was that as a charity, use that as a revenue generator. So it could be a rentable space that members of the public in Ayrshire could come in and take advantage of it to host their own meetings. People have been very impressed. We've invested in high-end speakers, high-end microphones, and they have massively made a difference. We previously had to deal with lots of issues of people complaining that they couldn't hear what was being said on the other end of the call. All those issues have disappeared. We also used to have issues where we were trying to present in rooms, you were working from one screen, and it's trying to then keep a track of what you're presenting while seeing who's taking part in the call. So we now have the massive dual screens, which allow you to have that split view, and it massively aids in our meetings. With Lairds coming in and specially designing these rooms, we've found that all of our previous issues are gone. We're able to host meetings as and when we need them, with no complaints from any of the end users. What we do in a hospice, giving end-of-life care to people throughout Ayrshire, it's a very difficult job, so you want as many distractions as possible to disappear to allow you to focus on that core job. So if people don't have to come into a room and worry, is the equipment going to work, it makes a massive difference, and then people can then focus on doing what they're here to do. If we had meetings before, it was always David runs around and David finds a laptop to find the right cable and plug in so that we could have background music while people are having coffees and things, but just a simple thing of being able to come into the room, pick up an iPad and use Bluetooth to put some background music on. It's not something we've been able to do before. It's been transformational for us in how we host and manage meetings within the hospice.